Assalamualaikum and good evening. Sarawak Premier Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Dato' Abang Openg has safely arrived in Tokyo, Japan to begin a two-day official working visit, which will also see him receive the highest recognition from Emperor Naruhito, namely the Order of the Rising Sun, Gold and Silver Star on Tuesday. His arrival at Narita International Airport, Japan at 8:50 p.m. Sunday local time was welcomed by the Malaysian Ambassador to Japan, Dato' Shahril Effendi Abdul Ghani. Meanwhile, his arrival at the hotel was welcomed by the Director of Forest Department Sarawak, Dato' Hamdan Muhammad, and other members of the delegation. The highlights of this visit will be the Sarawak Premier receiving the Order of the Rising Sun, Gold and Silver Star by Emperor Naruhito on recognitions of his significant contribution in strengthening the strategic relationship between Japan and Malaysia. Dato' Petinggi Abang Zohari is among the recipients of the Autumn Imperial Decorations 2025, announced by the Japanese government recently. The prestigious award was given in recognition of his extraordinary efforts in promoting regional exchanges and strengthening bilateral understanding between Japan and Malaysia. The Sarawak Premier has played a key role in advancing economy and energy cooperation, particularly in the renewable energy sectors such as hydrogen and ammonia, in addition to strengthening ties with major Japanese companies to ensure long-term energy security through stable supplies of liquefied natural gas. In addition, he has also spearheaded various initiatives with Japanese universities and organizations in the fields of forest conservation, biodiversity, and sustainable development in line with Sarawak's agenda as a green energy-based state. The Sarawak government begins a new chapter of cooperation with Japan through exploring potential in the fields of green technology, global carbon markets, biodiversity science, and human capital development. Dato' Petinggi Abang Zohari said after 3 decades of close relations between the Japanese-Malaysia Association (JMA) and the Forest Department Sarawak, the time was right for both parties to expand cooperation towards exploring new high-impact areas.
Looking ahead, I am confident that our collaboration can expand into new areas, including 1. Professional and capacity development in carbon monitoring, LIBA, GIS, and biodiversity sciences. 2. Joint participation in international carbon markets aligned with Article 6.2 framework. 3. Youth engagement and community empowerment programs. 4. Students, researcher, and academic exchange initiatives between Japanese institutions and Sarawak universities.
He said this during the 30th anniversary of cooperation between the JMA and Forest Department Sarawak in Tokyo on Monday. Dato' Petinggi Abang Zohari added that the bilateral cooperation beginning in 1995 is not only focused on forest restoration but also involved community development and environmental education throughout the state. He explained that Sarawak greatly values its relationship with Japan not only in terms of trade and investments but also people-to-people relations, cultural exchange, knowledge transfer, and shared commitment to environmental conservation.
Sarawak places great value on its relationship with Japan, not only in trade and investment, but also in people-to-people ties, cultural exchange, knowledge transfer, and shared commitments towards environmental stewardship. In this regard, the Japan-Malaysia Association, or GMA, has been an important bridge connecting the hearts and lives of the people of Japan and Sarawak.
Sarawak is actively working to produce renewable energy not only for domestic use but also to meet the green energy needs of the entire ASEAN region. The Sarawak Premier said Sarawak has been identified as part of the ASEAN Green Initiative to supply green energy to neighboring countries within ASEAN. According to him, Sarawak currently generates 70% of its energy from hydropower and 30% from low-carbon gas.
At the moment, Sarawak is producing 70% hydropower and 30% low carbon gas power. With that combination, we hope that we can share our electron with our neighbors. With the Japanese support and technology, we can contribute to the green of the world.
Meanwhile, Dato' Patinggi Abang Zohari added that Sarawak is currently implementing a strategic agenda to become a green, low-carbon and sustainable economy. He explained that among the initiatives being implemented include the Forest Carbon Activity Rules 2022, the restorations of 200,000 hectares of forest landscapes by 2030, the planting of more than 50 million trees throughout the state, as well as the strengthening of protected areas and biodiversity conservation. The Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS government remains committed to improving the quality of services to the people with the inaugurations of the Sarawak Service Centre SSC Betong, which provides modern, comfortable and easily accessible facilities. Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Ambas said the world is now moving rapidly in the digital aspect and the government is taking proactive measures to introduce a digital economy policy that has brought many positive developments to the people.
Inilah usaha GPS di bawah pimpinan yang berhormat Bejo kita untuk kebaikan rakyat di seluruh Betong. Jadi saya berharap tuan-tuan dan puan-puan gunakanlah perkhidmatan ini dan saya percaya dari masa ke semasa apa-apa perkhidmatan yang akan diberi di sini akan ditambah baik kerana matlamatnya adalah untuk memberi perkhidmatan yang terbaik kepada Sarawak.
He said when speaking at the inaugurations of the Sarawak Service Centre SSC Betong on Monday. He also urged the people to register for Sarawak ID and Sarawak Pass as digital identities to facilitate access to assistance applications, official government affairs and various digital information. According to the Bukit Saban Assemblyman, Betong has experienced rapid developments with the implementation of high-impact projects such as the Batang Lupar 2 Bridge, Babuling Airport and the Argo Product Collection, Processing and Packaging Centre, which will open up job opportunities and improve the people's standard of living. Betong residents can now enjoy better access to government services through the opening of the SSC Betong. Sarawak Secretary Dato' Amar Muhammad Abu Bakar Marzuki said since the SSC network was expanded, the centre has provided services to over 3.1 million customers, with a total of financial transactions reaching 5.4 billion ringgit as of September 2025.
Ini membuktikan bahawa hasil daripada kerja secara berpasukan. This is untuk makluman Yang Muhammad Dato' Amar, when we kumpulkan semua agensi-agensi kerajaan dalam satu pusat, ianya dapat membuktikan bahawa dalam apa jua tanggungjawab yang dilaksanakan, yang diamanahkan pada perkhidmatan awam, ianya akan kita jalankan secara bersepadu dan juga secara berpasukan.
The centre will provide various centralised services including utility bill management, government agencies, housing development corporations, social welfare departments, women and childhood development departments, local authorities, rural water supply department as well as self-service kiosks. The effort reflects the commitments of the state government under the leadership of the Sarawak Premier in strengthening the public service delivery system throughout the state. Dato' Omar Muhammad Abu Bakar also emphasizes the need for services at the SSC to continue to be improved from time to time to ensure that they remain relevant to the people's needs and in line with the technological developments. He added that the SSC is not just a place to carry out routine business, but functions as a bridge between the government and the community, allowing citizens to access government services more quickly, easily and conveniently in their respective areas. A total of 26 organizations in the Sebuyau districts received Minor Rural Project MRP grants amounting to 227,000 ringgit at a ceremony held at the Sebuyau district's office on Sunday. The grants presentation ceremony was officiated by the Sarawak Minister of Utilities and Telecommunications, Sebuyau Assemblyman Datuk Sri Julaihi Narawi. The recipients consist of associations, societies and village committees from the Sebuyau area, and the grants are intended to support the implementations of community, religious and social development activities at the grassroots level. During the same ceremony, Datuk Sri Julaihi also presented 4,200 ringgit in Sabuyao District Education incentives to 10 students who are furthering their studies at diploma and master's degree level. He stressed on the Sarawak government's continued commitments to assisting the public through various initiatives that directly benefit rural communities, including those in the fields of education and community development. And that's the English edition. With me, Saiful, Bhari, Muhammad. More news can be found in our official portal ukas.sarawak.gov.my and social media platforms including Facebook and YouTube. We round up tonight's UKAS Bulletin with the displays of the 13th anniversary of cooperations between the JMA and Forest Department Sarawak and Tokyo on Monday. #Saluran Informasi Rakyat. Have a good night.